I will walk you through what we have added and changed in the research platform since we last met in June. So if you haven't seen yet the platform at all, I will also demo it in the end, and it's also publicly available for you to access. I will not go into too much detail on what we added underneath the surface in form of data processing, because we already presented the overall pipeline, and we still have been busy a lot with data cleaning and filling the details, and this is still going on. But this is very much kind of detail work, which is continuing. So I'm just presenting to you now what has changed at the top level. So one area we've been starting to work last time was image segmentation. So we have a lot of images that are digitized, for example, including background, including this color scale we see here. And we trained image segmentation model to crop this image, so the actual artwork from the digitized image. And we already ingested these results in the platform, so you can see that their images are now cropped to what is in the picture. It's not yet perfect. You'll also see that there are some errors, so that's why we also added the ability to edit the segmentation on the platform itself, and these edits are then used to retrain the algorithm, which means it will improve over time, and it will also be adaptable as we add new images, which maybe introduce new image artifacts. Image annotation, we also have a nice workflow in the platform. I'll demo this in a later step. We also integrated some of our own technology. There's the Eat Your Own Dog Food paradigm. We recently launched the reference data service platform, which is a lookup service where you can find reference data from different data sets. So this is the platform that you see here in the background. And we can access this data directly from the BSO research platform. For example, if you want to add information about what is visible on a picture, and that information is not yet available in the BSO data itself. So you see here, it is querying Wikidata through this RDS interface. And again, this opens up new data sources that we can query and integrate in BSO. We also added map views throughout the platform. So you can view search results on a map, or in this case, the route of a voyage pittoresque. So you can see exactly where the images on this route are lying, or you can look at a specific artist and see the geographic region of the images the artist produced. As we have started adding data on the platform, we also added a backup solution, which is not trivial with this form of database, but we have developed something on our own, which every day uploads new edits onto GitHub, and there also makes them available for later referencing. This is also maybe a big one, public access. I think last time we already announced that we want to launch or soft launch the platform. So the whole BSO portal is now publicly available, and is also available through API. So you can also access it via a Sparkle interface. We have not yet advertised it because we still want to make sure that the data is consistent. There are still some things we discovered that we can need to readjust, but we decided to already put the data out there for you or for anyone interested to use and work with. That includes IIIF manifests. So mostly the data from the central library already comes with manifests from IRARA, but we also added III manifests for all the other records that we have on BSO, including the metadata that is added, which means you can now also view all the images in external viewers and integrate it into external websites. The snapshot integration is something Stephanie has already talked about. So we submitted about 10,000 images to Snapshot, and the volunteers have already been quite busy georeferencing them, which means for many images, for I think about almost 300 images so far, we already have a georeferenced view. And I think there are about 100 images still on the platform. We also have kind of an interface there where we verify the correct georeferences of the images. This is a big topic still going on, and this is mainly the work of Olja Nikoleva. We're integrating the Swiss topo data, which includes the exact boundaries of municipalities as well as hierarchies of places. So currently we have aligned all the places with GND and Wikidata, which gives us some sort of point coordinates, but we don't yet have the exact coordinates of the boundaries of municipalities. And also we don't have the real hierarchies. So if you want to, for example, search for all the places in the canton of Zurich, this is not yet possible because we still need to integrate the alignment between the Wikidata places and the Swiss topo places, which then allows us to search for images according to places upwards in the hierarchy. So if we have something geolocated as Andelfingen, for example, this is not automatically included in the canton of Zurich, but by aligning and integrating the Swiss topo data, this kind of search will be possible. So I switch to a brief demo of the platform. So this is how it currently looks. We have two versions. I will show the link in a bit. So this is the staging platform, which is with the latest data, but also allows us to experiment. You see a brief selection of images. This changes every day. Places, persons, and what we call dossiers. These are mainly collections of images, concepts. Many images already came with associated keywords, and we aligned these concepts to Wikidata and GND, which is, by the way, also where these images come from. This is all from Wikidata. And at the very bottom, you see the geolocated images. These are the images that are already geolocated in Snapshot. So I just open a view of an image. So this is one that doesn't have a geolocation. So you see here this viewer, and you also see this frame. This is the image segmentation. This is in this case one that has been corrected by hand. Go back to see one which we haven't yet fixed. This one. So you see here also this is a snapshot image that we have integrated with Snapshot, but we have not yet obtained georeferencing for it. And in this case, you see this button here. This lets you directly jump onto the Snapshot platform and start a georeferencing of this image. This particular one, I imagine, is quite difficult because it's very frontal view. Maybe if I want to demonstrate it, which I will briefly do, I look for one which is a bit more accessible. Maybe this one. Ansicht.Bild. Yes, you see it has not yet been georeferenced. I just briefly demonstrate how this is done. So you start off with the image. You can click on geolocalize. And this will first ask you for the position of the photographer. So there's already a bit of geo information available, which means you don't have to start very much from scratch. I'm not too familiar with PL, but I would assume it is from somewhere here, looking at the lake. So this is where I assume the photographer, or in this case, the painter is, and the view goes towards the lake. This is where the actual work happens in the end. So this is a 3D model of Switzerland. Just gonna raise my viewpoint a bit. And then the process is that you mark reference point between the image and the platform. And by this, the platform can calculate the approximate viewpoint of the painter. You can try this out yourself, and we maybe talk about it a bit later. And if this process, once this process is being done and confirmed by us, the images are pulled also into the platform, which means you can then open it also in the BSO research platform and immediately see the geolocated image on BSO. And this includes, we have, for example, the ability to change the transparency if you want to compare how accurate the Matterhorn is drawn, or also crop this image and see where maybe details differ. Some other things, maybe actually show you the map view I mentioned. For example, this is a nice one, maybe a voyage from Baal to the sources of the river Rhine. Here, by aligning the places in the images with places in the and then obtaining the coordinates, we can get this map view of this from the sources of the Rhine. And of course, all the sites are present here. There we go. One final thing, maybe FFF manifest. As I mentioned, we generated manifests for all of them. And we now also include links to the original source. So this is the same data on the Helvetic Archives platform. And here is the FFF manifest. And this allows you to use a FFF viewer, such as, for example, here, the Mirador viewer. Oops. Sorry, my computer is a bit struggling for some reason. So we can then add this FFF URL into any viewer. And this includes also the metadata that we have added here. Okay. So I quickly jump back to the slides just to show you the links to the platform, but I also put them in the chat. So the final public platform is available under this address, bso.swissartresearch.net, and it is accessible without an account. If you want to add data or edit anything on it, we'll have to give you an individual account, and then you can also start working with the platform, annotating images and adding more data.